Coming up are the headlines for the day. Heavy rainfall alerts sounded in several areas including Muscat. Body of missing expat found in Oman. Oman's public debt expected to decrease. New COVID Omicron subvariant found in India, says WHO. Blinken and Bilawal Bhutto discuss ways of enhancing US-Pakistan partnership. Biden to rescind Afghanistan's designation as major non-NATO ally. FIFA Plus launches 2 new original documentaries, Mo, A Global Icon and Hubsi. Pedro fires Flamingo to Copa Libertadores last 8. Those are the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. Most of the Sultanate of Oman's governorates may witness thunderstorms and heavy rainfall ranging between 20 to 80 millimeters on Thursday and for the next 2 days. Due to heavy thunder showers that are expected to fall during the days of Thursday, Friday and Saturday, which in some areas may range from 20 to 80 millimeters within 24 hours, the Civil Aviation Authority alerts all to take precautions during thunderstorms, stay away from the warning areas and avoid low-lying areas. In addition, stay alert to the status of sea and take action to avoid rough sea, Oman Meteorology said in a statement. On Thursday, clouds advection from Oman Sea and Arabian Sea will continue to affect most of the Sultanate of Oman, with chances of isolated thundershowers over governorates of Muscat, North Al-Sharqiya, South Al-Sharqiya, Al-Dakhliya, North Al-Batana, South Al-Batana, Al-Buraymi, Al-Dahira, Al-Wusta and Dhofar. There is a possibility of rainfall ranging from 20 to 80 millimeters, which may cause the flow of some wadis with chances of hail. Fresh downdraft winds will blow within the speed range of 30 to 70 km per hour, which can cause blowing of unstable objects today. Horizontal visibility may decrease due to the thundershowers and arising dust. The sea will be rough on the Arabian Sea coastal areas with maximum wave height of 4.5 meters and moderate to rough along the coastal areas of Oman Sea with maximum of 2 to 3 meters. On Friday and Saturday, the low pressure trough will continue to affect the weather of the Sultanate of Oman, with chances of isolated thundershowers over governorates of Muscat, North Al-Sharqiya, South Al-Sharqiya, Al-Dakhliya, North Al-Batana, South Al-Batana, Al-Dahira, Al-Wusta, Dhofar and parts of Masandam. Rainfall is likely to fall within the range of 30 to 80 millimeters in 24 hours, which may cause a flow of some wadis with chances of hail. Fresh downdraft winds will blow between 40 to 80 km per hour, which can cause blowing of unstable objects for the next 2 days. Horizontal visibility may decrease due to the thundershowers and rising dust. Sea will be rough over Arabian Sea coastal areas with maximum height of 4.5 meters and moderate to rough along the coastal areas of Oman Sea with maximum of 2 to 3 meters on Friday and Saturday. The body of the missing expat has been found in a valley in the Wilayat of Al-Hamra, Al-Dakhliya Governorate. Civil Defense and Ambulance Authority said the following in a statement. The authorities' operations center received a report about the loss of a person of Asian nationality in a village in Jabal Shams, Al-Dakhliya Governorate, whose body was found dead in a valley in the Wilayat of Al-Hamra. The public debt of the Sultanate of Oman is expected to decrease by the end of July to reach Omani Riyal 18.6 billion compared to the record at the end of 2021, which amounted to about Omani Riyal 20.8 billion. The Sultanate of Oman will repay a high-cost financing loan of Omani Riyal 512 million this month ahead of its due date. The government of the Sultanate of Oman was able to buy back some international bonds before their maturity by holding the first auction of its kind in the region with an estimated value of Omani Riyal 269 million, less than the face value of these bonds when they were offered, Oman News Agency said in a statement. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the international news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. A new sub-variant BA.2.75 of the Omicron variant of COVID-19 has been detected in various countries including India, World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said. Ghebreyesus said that the world body was following the development closely. On COVID-19, globally reported cases have increased nearly 30% over the past 2 weeks. 4 out of 6 of the WHO sub-regions saw cases increase in the last week, Ghebreyesus said during a press briefing on Wednesday. In Europe and America, BA.4 and BA.5 are driving waves. In countries like India, a new sub-lineage of BA.2.75 has also been detected, which we are following, the WHO chief said. During the briefing yesterday, WHO chief scientist Soumya Swaminathan said that there has been an emergence of a subvariant that is being called the BA.2.75. First reported from India and then from about 10 other countries, she said. There are still limited sequences available of the subvariant to analyze, but this subvariant seems to have a few mutations on the receptor binding domain of the spike protein. So obviously there is a key part of the virus that attaches itself to the human receptor. So we have to watch that. It's still too early to know if this subvariant has properties of additional immune evasion or indeed of being more clinically severe. We don't know that, the chief scientist said. WHO Incident Manager COVID-19 Abdi Mahmood said that now is not the time to declare that the pandemic is over. He also added that people and communities must continue to wear masks, avoid crowds and ensure that the most vulnerable and high-risk population is protected. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with Pakistani Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari on Wednesday and discussed issues concerning economic and regional stability as he welcomed the 75th anniversary of US-Pakistan diplomatic relations. A US State Department release said both ministers reaffirmed their joint goals for enhancing US-Pakistan bilateral partnerships on climate and health. Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken spoke today with Pakistani Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. The Secretary welcomed the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the United States and Pakistan and reaffirmed our joint goals for enhancing US-Pakistan bilateral partnerships on economic stability, climate and health, said the US State Department spokesperson Ned Price. The Secretary and the Foreign Minister also discussed coordination to mitigate the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan, regional stability, commercial and people-to-people ties, and the devastating effects of Putin's unprovoked war on Ukraine on food security in Pakistan and worldwide, Price added. According to the Pakistani media, during the phone call, the two sides also agreed to look forward to frequent exchange of high-level visits between the dignitaries of the two states. Bilawal also requested his American counterpart to ease the issuance of visas for Pakistani nationals. Back in May this year, Bilawal met Blinken in New York City and affirmed the desire for a strong bilateral relationship, following the rough patch under the Imran Khan government. They discussed expanding partnerships in climate, investment, trade and health, as well as people-to-people ties. The US State Department said they underscored the importance of US-Pakistan cooperation on regional peace, counterterrorism, Afghan stability, support for Ukraine and democratic principles. The bilateral ties between Pakistan and US seem to be mending after an extensive rough patch under the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) government. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been blaming Washington for his ouster from power in April via a vote of no confidence. The Biden administration has repeatedly claimed it had nothing to do with Khan's removal. US President Joe Biden on Wednesday notified Congress of his intent to rescind the designation of Afghanistan as a major non-NATO ally. In accordance with Section 517 of the Foreign Assistance Act of 1961, I am providing notice of my intent to rescind the designation of Afghanistan as a major non-NATO ally, Biden said in the letter. The United States designation Afghanistan as a major non-NATO ally in July 2012. Last year, the Taliban launched an offensive against the democratically elected Afghan government after the Biden administration announced the end of its military presence in Afghanistan. On August 15, 2021, the Taliban swept into Kabul without encountering any resistance and gained full control over the Afghan capital. Later in September, the Taliban declared a complete victory in Afghanistan and formed an interim government which hasn't yet been officially recognized by any country. Since its ascent to power in Kabul, the Islamic group imposed policies severely restricting basic rights, particularly those of women and girls. According to Human Rights Watch, the Taliban dismissed all women from leadership posts in the civil service and prohibited girls in most provinces from attending secondary school. Taliban decrees prohibit women from traveling unless accompanied by a male relative and requires women's faces to be covered in public, including women TV newscasters. The Taliban have carried out broad censorship limiting critical reporting and have detained and beaten journalists. Taliban forces have carried out revenge killings and enforced disappearances of former government officials and security force personnel. The Afghan economy collapsed after August 2021 as millions of people lost salaries when the US, World Bank and other donors stripped the Central Bank of Afghanistan of its foreign assets and access to financial assistance. Over 90% of the Afghan population faces serious food insecurity, along with a lack of medicine and a rise in malnutrition-related disease. Those were the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the sports news. Arabic has been added as an official platform language on FIFA Plus, making the new digital destination for football fandom more accessible to over 300 million native speakers around the world. To mark the launch, 2 new original documentaries have also gone live. Mo, a global icon charting the impact that Liverpool star Mo Salah has had on the world, and Habsi, a behind-the-scenes journey into the career of goalkeeper Ali Al Habsi from Oman to the Premier League, FA Cup glory and beyond. Arabic now takes the number of localized editions for FIFA Plus to 10, following the addition of Bahasa, Italian, Japanese and Korean last month to the founding languages of English, French, Spanish, German and Portuguese. The news also follows the 2022 edition of Arabic as an official FIFA language as directed by the FIFA statutes. Discussing the launch, FIFA Plus head of content James Marley said the following. The Arabic world is rich with football narratives, and we're not only excited to now be making FIFA Plus more accessible to fans in the region, but to start bringing a global audience to many of its incredible stories. We're kicking off with Mo, a global icon, and Habsi, but there is so much more to come, from grassroots to the professional game, particularly as we head towards the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Since launch, FIFA Plus has continued to grow to wider audience and develop new and exciting content streams. Former Fiorentina striker Pedro dos Santos scored 4 goals as Flamengo advanced to the Copa Libertadores quarterfinals on Wednesday with a 7-1 home victory over Deportes Tolima. Gabriel Barbosa and Matheus Franca were also on target for the Brazilian Giants, while Julian Alvera struck an own goal for Deportes Tolima. The result at the Maracana Stadium handed Flamengo an 8-1 win on aggregate after they defeated the Colombian outfit 1-0 in the first leg. In Buenos Aires, Vélez Sarsfield progressed to the last 8 by eliminating 4-time champions River Plate with a goalless away draw. It followed Vélez's 1-0 home victory in the first leg. Reigning champions Palmeiras also reached the next stage of South America's top club competition with a 5-0 home win over Cerro Porteño. The Brazilian side took the tie 8-0 on aggregate. And Talleres Cordoba advanced by securing a 2-0 win at Colón in their all-Argentinian affair, a result that saw the former prevail 3-1 overall. Those are all the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.